No questions. So let's talk about what's going on here with crude oil, because this is a setup that occurs all the time. First off, we had expansion to the downside, then compression back to the upside, drew our micro trend. We broke down through that. Okay, we had that nice big rundown last week. And then what did we say on Friday of last week? All right, Friday of last week, we said we do not expect the S&P, or we don't expect crude oil to go hit a new low today. It had just dropped 7 points. So we did not expect it to go hit a new low. What did we want to see it do? We actually wanted to see it put in a higher low with the divergence here, like we had, put in the higher low, and we want to be able to draw a micro trend, which is now what we've done here. We put in the higher low, now we've drawn a micro trend. So the thing that we're watching with crude oil now is the daily, because the daily is what is setting up here for the time being. So with the setup that we have, we had our breakout, we had our run, now we've had our consolidation period. This right here looks beautiful for a bear flag, and crude will do this all the time. So for example, back here, we had our micro trend, we broke down, here's our bounce, there was our bear flag in our continuation. All right, so that was a bear flag up here, same thing. Here's our breakdown, bear flag. All right, same thing over here. Here's our compression, our breakdown, our bounce, and our bear flag. Now, I expect this to trigger tomorrow. And remember, ideally with a bull or bear flag, okay, what do we want to see? Ideal situation is going to be it triggers with only one or two price bars on the consolidation. So when I say I want to see it happen by tomorrow, why am I saying that? Well, the main reason I'm saying that is because I do not want to see this become a drawn out compression. With a bear flag, remember, it's a continuation of the initial move. So if we break down and we just start consolidating like this longer and longer and longer, the longer that consolidation lasts, the higher the probabilities of us seeing something like that, where it pulls back and kind of chops around, as opposed to seeing something like this, where it just continues to run. So I expect it to trigger tomorrow. I would want to see it trigger tomorrow, and I'd like to see it follow through on Thursday. So trigger tomorrow, have a decent sized down bar, and then Thursday, I want to see a dump. Or Friday, I want to see a dump, one or two. And come down, test this next support level. All right, so the reason I'm explaining this to you is because one of the things you have to do as a trader is we don't want to be reactionary to everything. We don't want to be jumping in after it happens. Okay, we don't want to be seeing the big move take place and then get into it. It's kind of like chess. You don't want to wait for the other opponent to make their move. You need to be thinking ahead of what are the possible moves that they could be making. All right, so what can I be watching for? Because if you can think ahead, just like with trading, if you can think ahead, then you can be ready for the setup, and you can be in a position, set yourself up in a position to execute. A lot of people think that trading, you got to get lucky to be in the right time at the right place, or the right place at the right time, and that's not the case. You kind of create your own luck by doing the correct analysis and anticipating the market move. So in this case, how are we anticipating this? Well, we're anticipating a potential bear flag triggering tomorrow. What do we ideally want to see with a flag? On that bounce, so this is our down move, and this is our bounce. On this bounce, a doji, if we have a doji like that, like we have right here, that is perfect. That's beautiful, what we want to see. Okay, even better would be we set up the doji, it gaps up, we form the doji, which is what we're doing right here. We're gapping up to a doji, and then we gap down tomorrow, which means after the close today, so after 2:30, we move lower, and then tomorrow triggers. That would be even better, because this is somewhat of an evening star and abandoned baby pattern. The other thing we want to see is that retracement should be a fraction of the down move. Well, if our down move is this big and we've retraced this much of it, that is less than half the retracement. We have about a third of the retracement of the initial move, which is good. That's what we want to see. It's showing extra strength. So there's a lot of things lining up right now for crude oil to suggest crude's going to head lower tomorrow or the day after. Okay, so keep an eye out for this and for a potential short entry, and start thinking in terms of anticipating future market movement.